I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen.
ARMYs completely lost their minds after this heartwarming moment from BTS choreography practice spread across social media. What started as an ordinary rehearsal slowly turned into one of the softest, sweetest, and most emotional BTS moments ever seen. And honestly, anyone who watched the interaction between the members that day could instantly understand why BTS Bond feels so special to millions of people around the world. Hello, ARMY. Welcome back once again to the BTS Fans channel. Today we're going to talk about a small moment that somehow melted the entire internet. It wasn't about a massive concert stage, it wasn't about awards or global achievements. Instead, it was about how the BTS members quietly took care of Taehyung when he started feeling cold during choreography practice. And honestly, this tiny moment felt warmer than any performance ever could. Everything happened inside a huge practice studio where BTS had been intensely preparing for an upcoming special performance. From early morning, the atmosphere already felt busy and serious. Loud music echoed throughout the room. Bright studio lights reflected against the mirrors while staff members moved around carrying equipment and discussing choreography details with the production team. The BTS members arrived wearing comfortable training outfits, looking relaxed yet effortlessly stylish as always. RM focused on checking notes while occasionally speaking with the choreographers. J-Hope had already started practicing small dance movements before the official rehearsal even began, his endless energy filling the room instantly. Jimin stood near the mirrors carefully studying every choreography detail with full concentration. Jungkook stretched near the center of the room while joking around with the others. Meanwhile, Jin continued lightening the atmosphere with his chaotic jokes that always made everyone laugh no matter how exhausted they were. And quietly standing near the corner of the studio was Taehyung. He wore an oversized dark hoodie, loose sweatpants, and a black beanie that covered part of his soft hair. His appearance looked simple, cozy, and completely effortless in the way only Taehyung could pull off. At first, everything seemed normal. He smiled softly toward the staff members, greeted the others calmly, and began rehearsing like usual. But as practice continued, fans quickly noticed something different. Taehyung looked much quieter than normal. His skin appeared slightly pale, and during short breaks, he repeatedly rubbed his hands together as if trying to create warmth. The studio air conditioner was apparently freezing that day, and BTS had already been rehearsing nonstop for hours. Their breathing slowly became heavier, sweat covered their clothes, and exhaustion started settling into the room. Yet among all the members, Taehyung seemed to feel the cold the most. While the choreographer explained the next formation, Taehyung quietly tucked both hands inside the sleeves of his oversized hoodie. His shoulders curled inward slightly as he tried to keep himself warm. And somehow, that tiny movement alone completely destroyed ARMYs emotionally. He looked unbelievably soft, gentle, fragile in the most adorable way possible. Still, despite feeling cold, Taehyung continued practicing without complaining. He kept dancing with full energy, repeating difficult choreography over and over again alongside the other members. Sweat slowly soaked through their clothes and everyone looked exhausted, but nobody stopped. Because BTS have always been known for giving absolutely everything whenever they practice. And then, the moment happened. After finishing one especially intense dance section, the music suddenly stopped for a short break. The members immediately dropped onto the studio floor trying to catch their breath. Some grabbed water bottles while others leaned against the mirrors wiping sweat from their faces. But Taehyung sat quietly with both arms crossed tightly around himself. His head lowered slightly, his cheeks looked red from the cold, and his body seemed to shiver softly. Then, in the gentlest voice imaginable, Taehyung quietly whispered, "Why is it so cold in here?" The way he said it sounded so innocent and tired, almost like a sleepy child softly complaining without realizing it, and the members' reactions instantly melted everyone's hearts. Jin was the first to move. Laughing warmly, he walked straight toward Taehyung and gently rubbed his shoulders. "Our baby bear is freezing again," he joked. The entire studio immediately burst into laughter. Taehyung shyly smiled and quickly hid part of his face inside his oversized hoodie. But that was only the beginning. A few seconds later, Jungkook suddenly stood up and walked directly toward Taehyung without saying anything. Before anyone could react, he wrapped both arms tightly around Taehyung from behind. The hug looked so natural, so warm, so sincere. It didn't feel like something done for cameras. It didn't feel forced. It simply looked like someone instinctively protecting the person they cared about. Taehyung immediately laughed softly in surprise while Jungkook jokingly said, "Taehyung needs a human heater." And at that exact moment, the studio completely turned into the sweetest chaos imaginable. RM joined by warming Taehyung's arms with his hands. Jimin dramatically hugged Taehyung from the side while laughing loudly. Even the staff members behind the cameras couldn't stop smiling as the entire practice session suddenly transformed into a full Protect Taehyung mission. And honestly, the scene looked less like a global superstar group and more like a small family taking care of the softest member among them. What truly made ARMYs emotional was Taehyung's expression during that moment. His smile appeared instantly. His eyes curved beautifully, and his iconic boxy smile completely lit up his face. For a few seconds, he looked genuinely safe and comforted inside the warmth of the members surrounding him. Even Suga, who had quietly watched everything from nearby, finally joined in. With his usual calm smile, he grabbed a blanket and tossed it toward Taehyung, telling him not to get any colder. The studio that had once felt intense and exhausting suddenly became the warmest place in the world. And perhaps that is exactly why BTS feels different from everyone else. Their relationship never looks fake, never feels scripted. The way they care for each other always feels natural, simple, and deeply genuine. Because after spending years together through exhausting schedules, world tours, pressure, success, tears, happiness, and endless struggles, they understand each other without needing many words. Sometimes Taehyung doesn't even need to explain that he's uncomfortable. The members already know, and moments like this are exactly why millions of ARMYs feel emotionally connected to BTS. Because behind the image of global superstars, they are still 7 people who truly love and protect each other like family. It's no surprise that once clips from the rehearsal started spreading online, social media exploded instantly. Hashtags about Taehyung and BTS quickly dominated worldwide trends. Fans flooded comment sections saying they couldn't stop replaying the moment Jungkook hugged Taehyung from behind. Some fans even wrote, "This isn't friendship anymore, this is home." And honestly, that description felt completely perfect. Because no matter how famous BTS become, how massive their success grows, or how busy their lives get, their bond still remains warm, chaotic, comforting, and full of love. And as practice finally ended that night, one final tiny interaction made ARMYs emotional all over again. Before leaving the studio, Jungkook quietly pulled Taehyung's hoodie tighter around him so he would stay warm. Meanwhile, Jin reminded him not to forget his jacket before going outside. And Taehyung, with his soft smile, simply nodded shyly while laughing quietly. That interaction may have lasted only a few seconds, but for ARMYs around the world, it became another beautiful reminder that BTS's Brotherhood is still as genuine, comforting, and full of love as it has always been. And maybe that is why the world can never stop loving BTS.